Hello, it has been a very busy month, but I have, as ever, not been idle. I just haven't had time to film or finish all of the many, many things I'm working on. So, I'm just going to show you in this video some sculpted books that I made. There's a total of 7, so I'll just run through them as quickly as I can. This is just a little hardbacked book that I made. It's covered in fabric. I've embellished it with various trims and laces. It's got a little bead dangle. And this is polymer clay with glass eyes. I've painted it in acrylic, and see these little purple things. I'll get zoomed in as far as I can. Those are real amethyst chips that I embedded in the clay. I know I've said before that I'm not a fan of putting stones in polymer clay. It usually bothers me quite a bit, but I think I can justify to my brain putting teeny tiny stone chips that are basically good for almost nothing else. I use them in my terrariums. That's why I've got a pile of them. But yeah, I thought it would be cool to incorporate some actual amethyst in this piece. I sealed it with a glossy spray. Usually I go for matte sprays, but I thought I quite like the wet look on this. And it's very three-dimensional and lumpy and bumpy. I did struggle to keep these flat. I tried to glue them on as flat as I could, and that's another reason for this trim. It's kind of hiding a bit of the lumpy bumpiness, but that's all part of it. Part of making things a one-of-a-kind little treasure. You're going to have lumps and bumps and imperfections, and that's all part of it, isn't it? So yes, it's a blank book. I have not embellished the inside. That would have taken me another month. This one's got a double pocket here. I've just put some stickers in here so you can see that the pockets are functional. They aren't like deep. They're very tight pockets because the book is so small. I thought putting a folded over bit might just bulk it out too much. But anyway, it has got many pages, different kinds of papers. There's even some tracing paper in here. So yes, it's just bursting with potential for someone to do something wonderful with. And here's another pocket here. And that is the first book. So, moving on, we have book number 2. And my elbow popped, sorry. Yeah, so same again. This one doesn't have any stones embedded. It's just polymer clay and acrylic paint. But there is a stone here. I think this top one is actually tiger eye. I liked it because it was a bit lumpy, but it doesn't have much flash to it. This is a man-made stone. I think they call it like sea sediment jasper or whatever. Anyway, it really matched well, so yeah. There's bits of leaves also around the edge of this one, as you can see. I love all of his chins. When I sculpt these, what I do is I just start with the eyes. I just put the eyes down, and then everything else comes just, I want to say kind of organically, but like I don't have a sketch or anything that I'm working from. I just plunk the eyes down and then I sculpt the face. But as you can see, he is very much three-dimensional as well. And same again inside. His pockets are a little bit different. And he's got same idea for pages, different kinds of paper, and then there's a back pocket here. There's his back and his spine. And moving on to book number 3. So as you can see, I've gone smaller with these next 2 books. They're about half the size of the first 2. Now on this one, you can see there are garnets, little tiny tumbled garnet chips embedded in the clay here. He's got his glass eyes the same, the polymer clay, and then just kind of a, what do you call it, collage almost of laces and cheesecloth and whatnot. He's got a little tiny dangle as well. I mean, I could have, like, just gotten rid of these dangles altogether. I could have nipped it and hidden it away, you know, but I chose to keep the dangles. And this is just like where the binding for the book, where it's sewn together. That's just the tail, and I like it. I don't know. I just like keeping it. So yeah, moving on. He has also got a little double pocket. I haven't shoved anything in there, but I promise you they are functional pockets. He's got several pages. And another pocket at the back. He's got lots of frayed edges for texture, and he's absolutely adorable and shiny. And there's lots of texture going on. In real life, these look a lot better than they do in videos or in photos. So here's another one, same size as the last. He has little 3D mushrooms on here, you can see. Same idea again. He's got his little dangle with his beads. He's got a pocket in front, pocket in the back. I think he's actually got more pages than the other one. But the thing is, with more pages, that's better if you want to like write on the pages, obviously. But I deliberately make some with fewer pages, such as this guy here. You can see he's not as thick, because those are good for if you want to stick things down on the pages. Because say you're sticking down photos, or you're sticking down little bits and pieces, that will bulk out the book quite a lot. So a thinner book, the spine is a bit thinner to compensate as well, but fewer pages means that there's space to take further embellishing, I suppose is what I'm getting at. Now, that's two of the biggish, and these are going to call them the medium. Now we're moving on to small, which are half the size of these guys, and we'll start with this one. You can see he's a very tiny book. He's got his little dangle, still the same. He's got a little bow closure, which I have. It's not the most graceful thing in the world trying to get these untied, but it is possible. I mean, they are tiny. They are tiny, tiny, so now you'll see on the other tiny books, there's two more. I've managed to make a cool little closure for them, but that was something that I only developed at the end, and I couldn't put the same closure on him because his hole is actually underneath the polymer clay plate, so I wasn't able to get a jump ring in here, so I had to leave his strings. Anyway, let's look at his face. His eyes are kind of a purple and blue. He's got little purple iridescent ladybirds stuck to his face. And he has also got a little pocket in all these pages, just waiting to be filled. There's a back pocket. And yes, tie closure. So, moving on, there's this guy. He's another teeny tiny. He's got his little dangle. He's got loads of texture going on, loads of texture in the face, and this right here, if you can see, is a tiny garnet, real stone. I put that there because as I was sorting through the chips for the other one that I put garnets on, I I noticed there was this tiny one that was like a perfect little sphere, and I thought, well, I could just use that as a tiny accent somewhere. So I did. And here's the little closure I was telling you about. Oh, get in focus, little guy. It is fiddly, but it is, it works. It does the job. It does the job really well. And as you can see, it's just a jump ring here, a jump ring here, and I just made the closure out of a bit, a bit of wire, the little hook, and it does the job. So yeah, same again with the pockets and emptiness inside. Now I could have decorated all of these books and done, you know, the full-on everything, but I like the idea of them being like blank little journals, and people can add their own decoration or not, entirely up to whoever ends up with these books. So last one, here we go. It's another teeny tiny, same again, and he has got, I know it's really difficult to see on camera, but you see all these little shiny bits? Those are olivine. It's basically non-gin quality peridot. So I have these little green stone chips again that I use for my tiny terrariums, and I've mushed them into the clay. So you're not really getting the full picture on camera, but in real life they sparkle quite a lot. And over here, there's a little stone nugget dangling off as well that I thought matched really well. And same again with the little closure. Sorry, my camera keeps going out of focus. Little closure, and yeah, pockets and pages. And as you've probably noticed, I do ink the edges of the pages. I think it just completes the character of the book, and these books are quite literally little characters, aren't they? So yes, this is the seven books that I've managed. There's one other little bonus thing I was going to show you. This was just kind of an extra random idea I had. I don't know if I'm going to pursue it, but look, it's a tiny bottle with a cork. And it's a mushroom. So yeah, that was just one of those random ideas. I just had the bottle looking at me on my desk. I was like, I'm going to make a mushroom cap for it. So I don't know if this is something I'm going to pursue, but maybe I will. Maybe I won't. He is a bit top heavy. So yes, that's all for now. I'm going to put these into my Folksy shop soon if anyone is interested, and they will be available to purchase. So now I have another video to film, so yeah, all done. Bye!